keep it real with ya.
Hey everybody, it's me, Mina, back with another video. Um, I'm struggling right now. Um, at the time I'm recording this video, I am 2 weeks out from my move. At the time the video will go up, it will be the day after my move. So hopefully, um, future Minu will be able to watch this and see past Minu freaking out and stressed out and be like, oh, it wasn't that bad, Minu. It's okay. Because I'm struggling over here. Like all types of things are just going haywire. It's the trauma, it's the autism, it's everything. I'm just so stressed. Mental health all over the place. Um, and I don't even know where to start this. So I will say, as I was getting ready to record this, I remembered that I be telling y'all all the time to uh eat food and drink water and take naps and stuff, and I wasn't doing it my damn self. So I said, before I get on this video and be a hypocrite, let me go and eat something and drink some water. So I went and I did that. And it's not like I'm one of those people who likes to stay up late doing stuff. I just have really, really bad, like I wake up a lot throughout the night. Um and so it just like makes it hard to sleep. So before I get more into that, let me show you guys my hair. Yeah, so I did flat twist again. And this was right after the last time you saw me do flat twist. So this time I was aiming to do like everything going to the sides. So see here, I did about 6 on each side. This is also too, like, this isn't like right after I did them. This is after I've like wrapped it in a scarf and tied it down and slept on it. So it's a lot flatter. And then the back. So the back looks way better than any of the styles that I've done so far, to where the black hair therapist that I see was very impressed and very happy at the progress that I've made. Um I was able to do like 2 of them while looking in the mirror, and then the rest I just had to feel it around. I just had to feel my head. I just had to feel my head. I couldn't stand in front of the mirror doing my whole head. But yeah, and I'll get into the struggles of the mirror in a second. But like, yeah, so right now, like I don't feel well at all. I'm struggling to sleep, and I'm drinking green tea and everything to try and wake up in the morning, and it's just not helping. I'm trying to like take more stuff at night to get a deeper sleep. It's not helping. I am taking antihistamines at night so that I can, I don't get congested in the middle of the night. Because if I can't breathe through my nostrils, I will wake up because I don't sleep with my mouth open. So if the nostrils are both congested, then I just can't sleep. I'm gonna wake up. I won't be able to breathe. Um, but I am taking stuff that allows me to breathe at night. Um, and I'm just still struggling to sleep. And apparently, and it's a lot going on. Obviously, like I have more than just the move happening in July. I have a lot of major changes happening all at the same time, which is very difficult for me. But it's also the fact that like I don't have any physical support throughout these changes. So it's all on me to do something that I've never done before, all by myself, with very little guidance outside of what I can find on the internet. Um, because I mean, I've moved before, but I've always moved like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and I always had a person to move with me. And in the past, I could fit my whole life in my car and just move to the next place. You know what I mean? And now I have like furniture and stuff, and it's just not the same. So like my move is gonna cost me probably around $6,000. And I'm not even leaving the state, guys. I'm moving from one end of the state to the other end of the state. But it's gonna cost around $6,000. That's including the cost of the movers, the money that I'm spending on like packing materials. Like I reuse a lot of boxes, but like there's more to packing than just having boxes. Like you have to have like bubble wrap and tape, and you have to make sure you have a box the size of your TV and the size of your paintings, and moving blankets and a mattress protector, and like all these things that I just never thought about because it just wasn't a thing that I did before. And then there's the, wrangling of the cats. This is my first time moving with the cats, and it's a long distance move, like it's a long drive with them. So making sure I have stuff to take care of them throughout the drive as well. Um, and then I don't even think I'm including the cost, but like add on like $1,300-$1,400 prorated rent for moving into my new apartment while I still have to pay rent for the current apartment for the month of July as well. And so it's just a lot of cost on me, financially, emotionally, physically, and just not having anybody to like go through it with me. And there's some people like, I talk to who are online that are nice, but even that, like, I feel like I've been kind of lacking in the emotional support side of it as well. So I just feel really, really lonely, and like I'm just, and I've always been like, I've always had to like, survive by myself. I'm not one of those people who had people to take care of them really growing up. So I've always had to do it, and I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Even when I got diagnosed with autism, she was like, you do need support, but you mask really well to where it doesn't seem like you need that much support. Like you're a functioning adult and all, but you could use some support to get through things. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, this is not easy. It's not easy at all. Um, and it's like a lot of change. Like the stuff with my hair is a huge change. Trying to do my own hair and get comfortable with my own hair is also a huge change. It was always somebody doing my hair for me. Um, and then the people who don't get someone to do their hair, they shave their head, and I didn't want to shave my head. But learning how to take care of my own hair is also a huge change, and it's all happening at the same time. And so, because all of this is happening at the same time, and I am thrown off my equilibrium so much, my brain has decided that now's the time to try and process trauma. Now, of all of times, my brain has decided that it wants to revisit traumatic events and just start throwing them at my face to try and figure out stuff. And I don't appreciate that, brain. I don't appreciate you doing this right now of all times. Like, can't you wait until everything has calmed down in my life? Usually it's like, you know, the second things calm down, that's when your brain is like, and another thing. No, no, I can't have good things because I am in the middle of the biggest change of my life, and my brain has decided that now is the time to dig up traumatic memories and emotions and torture me with them. Because the brain has not figured out what's going on or what's it doing. See, the brain likes to think that it's pretty smart. It don't know what the fuck's going on. It's like it's been bothered by the fact that there's all these different traumas just hanging out, and now it just wants to pick a fight with them. And I don't like that. So I'm like so in addition to me not sleeping well and not being able to rest my body properly, because with trauma, your cortisol levels are high, you're more hypervigilant. In addition to me just dealing with that naturally, also it's throwing nightmares at me. And the nightmares are touching like five different traumas at the same time. It's because that's the thing when you have CPTSD, as opposed to regular PTSD where you just have like one or two things that happen at a different point in time. No, with CPTSD, you have so many things that happen and the traumas like are wrapped around each other. It's like a trauma onion, and it just keeps going and going, and every layer you peel back, you get a new trauma. Like, and it's just so stressful. And so my brain is like, there's 50 traumas in the room. Instead of it going to pick one and then maybe that being something that I can take and work on with my therapist, that hoe decided that it wants to pick five or six traumas and just throw them all at me at the same time. So I can't even have a proper flashback because everything's so discombobulated. So I'm having nightmares of things that make absolutely no sense, and I'm writing them down and I'm journaling about them. And I'm bringing them to my therapist, and she's just looking like, oh, like it's literally, she was like, yeah. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? She's like, what do you want to do with that? Don't ask me. I pay you. Tell me what to do with all of this stuff that's hitting me at the same time. And she's like, it sounds like your brain is trying to process too many things at once. And it is very overwhelming. And I was like, yeah, I'm very overwhelmed. Why now? Why now? And of course, I kind of understand why now, because it's like I'm going through all these huge changes. And so my brain is like completely thrown off kilter. But I just wish that these traumatic memories and flashbacks and nightmares would wait until some other time to pop up. Because this is the absolute worst time for my brain to be tormenting me this way. Because now it's got me emotional, it's got me exhausted, and I'm also supposed to be packing up my life and getting ready for a huge move and a long drive. Like, I'm having to delay things at this point. Like at this point, like, I went to go buy some bras, and bras, I'm paying like $80 a bra. That's just the struggle of having these right here. And I'm going, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can order you some bras." 'Cause they're like out of my size or something. We can order you some bras. It's going to take like 6 to 8 weeks. I won't be here in 6 to 8 weeks, ma'am. And I have to get my bras from like a specialty place. I can't just go to Walmart and buy them. So I'm just like, I'm at the point where like I'm waiting now to order certain things until I'm in the new apartment, because it's just too close to grab everything that I want to grab in time to leave. In time to take with me to the new apartment in the new city. And yeah, this is when my brain wants to do all of this. Also too, if everything goes according to plan, I'm still hoping this video will come up after all of this happens. So I'm hoping that everything will be okay. If it's not, I will literally post in the comment section a clown emoji. Because that's what I do every time I get excited about something. And I'm like, this is going to be great. And then it doesn't go well. And then next year, some social media thing reminds me, I'm just like clown emoji. Um, Also, I'm starting a new job in July. At the time that this goes up, I will have started the new job. At the time I am recording this, I'm like a couple days away from starting the new job. And I am starting the new job while my brain is trying to process trauma and is giving me nightmares and emotional turmoil. I'm in distress. I'm struggling to sleep, which makes it hard for me to eat and even function and talk to people and make these videos. And I have to go and edit more videos. And then I have to start a brand new job where I'm going to be masking really hard, and I'm going to be probably in a bunch of meetings all day as I get to know everybody at the most stressful time of my life as well. Now, at the time this video comes out, I will be over that moving hump by like a day. And I am hoping that everything will be fine. You know what? And I'm speaking to it, just everything will be fine. It'll be okay. It's like one of those things where, like, I know logically that I will get through it. I know logically that when this video comes up, I will be in a new apartment and everything would have went smoothly. But because I've never done this before, my body is on like alarm bells are going off constantly at this point. And it's making it really, really hard to go through all of this over the next couple of weeks of the new job and the packing and making sure the cats are good. I gotta take the cats back to the vet. You know, I have to get my hair done one last time before I leave the city. Trying to go through all of this in the span of 2 weeks. Also having to come up with around 6,000, maybe seven, if you count the amount of money that I have to spend on my current apartment before I leave. Um, and kind of and having to pull that amount of money out of my savings to make it through all of this as well, it is extremely draining. And I wish that I was the type of person who worked well under pressure. I wish I was the type of person who could, you know, get like I'm be like, oh, it was the clock is ticking, and then I just get this sudden burst of energy that lets me do everything, and then when it's all over, then I can collapse. I'm not the type of person. My body will give up in the middle of everything. It will give up before shit even starts. It'll be like, that's too much, and it will just stop. And so that's a very stressful thing about me. And it's very upsetting that my brain is doing all of this. And it's like I kind of have people to talk about it with, but I kind of don't. um, it's and it's a weird situation with that too. Like I have some friends where I just don't feel comfortable unloading my deepest, darkest, most messed up traumas on them. Like it just feels weird to do so. And I only get an hour with my therapist every week. So it's just a hard thing to do. And my therapist is like, she needs me to journal and like all of that stuff as I have these dreams to make sure that so that I can bring it to her and then we can process it and we can pull it apart and, put the pieces together that my brain is struggling to put together right now. Um, but yeah, it's just a lot. I'm getting beat up by life right now. And these are positive changes, new home, new job, it's positive changes, but I still feel incredibly distressed by the fact that there is so much uncertainty and so much change. Um, that's what's hurting me. Oh wow, 17 minutes already. Um, the other thing I was going to talk about, and I'll make it quick since I've already talked so much. I'm just so tired. I'm sorry. The other thing to talk about is like I was mentioning with my hair and how I said that I could only do like two of the flat twists in the front with my hair before having to sit down. So basically, two things that happens when it comes to doing my hair that when I'm washing my hair in the shower, I get very bad uterine cramps, which my uterus is like a telltale sign of when I'm being triggered by something. Um, and I learned this from physical therapy. Don't I get it? I get this issue because I feel like people sexualize this, and I'm like, I'm literally talking about pain and healing. This is not a sexual thing at all, but I just certain people just they can't stop themselves. Anyway, the when you have pain, when I have pain on the right side of my uterus, this is what I've heard from my physical therapist who is trauma informed. The right side involves people who have triggered me, people who have caused me trauma. So when something comes up by somebody who has triggered me or caused me trauma in the past, I'll feel pain there. On the left side is pain surrounding identity. I don't often feel pain in that area because I don't feel like a person. So I don't really have a sense of self or identity. Therefore, it just be quiet on that side of the aisle. But as I've been doing my hair, I've been noticing interesting feelings that I might be triggering something on the left side. And I say this because when I'm standing in a mirror and I'm trying to do my hair, I am experiencing distress. I get hot, I get dizzy, I need to go sit down, and I cannot look at myself while I'm doing my hair. And I had this when I first started this YouTube channel where I would be editing videos of myself talking, and I would be like, who is that? I said that? That's me? And logically, I know that it is, but emotionally I don't, I guess. And I talked about this with both the black hair therapist and with my regular therapist because and she was like, "Yes, you have an issue with depersonalization. Depersonalization basically is where you don't feel like a person, you don't feel real, you don't feel human, and it is common apparently among people with trauma because, trauma oh, there's hair. Because trauma causes a lot of dysphoria and causes you to become disconnected from yourself. And that's why, like, when I talk to people who I talk to like other women and they're like, oh, yeah, I have mirrors in like every room in my house. I'm like, what? I do not. I do not own mirrors outside of the mirrors that come in my bathrooms. I literally will get scared when I walk past my master bathroom because there's the regular mirror and then on the side of that mirror is the medicine cabinet that also has a mirror. And when those mirrors reflect off of each other, it reflects me walking by and it scares me because I'm like, who is that? And it's literally because I don't see myself. Like when I imagine myself in a situation, when I imagine myself even sitting at home, I don't imagine myself. It's kind of to me like if you ever play like a first person video game, it's like that. It's like I'm playing a first person video game where they intentionally don't let the character talk, like they don't give a voice to the character, and then the character doesn't have an image. You know, maybe sometimes you can see them from the back, but you never see their face and you don't actually know what they look like. And you're just like playing through them to experience the game. And that's kind of how I experience life. And that's how I have moments where when I'm talking to people and somebody reacts like strongly to something I said, whether positive or negative, I'm sitting here like, what did I say? Because I'm not always here. Sometimes I'm just saying things and I'm not fully connected to what's coming out of my mouth. I have this really bad with interviews where I mask so hard in interviews that I literally cannot remember. Like I literally will look back and be like, who was that person talking in that interview? Because that wasn't me. That's how disconnected I become when I mask. And so it's been a common issue for me and my therapist. And I was asking my therapist because I felt very defeated, like I know I'm making progress, but damn, I'm tired. It's so much trauma to get through, not just processing the trauma itself, but processing all the effects of those traumas and how it's like caused me all of these issues. And it's just so much to get through. And, she was like, it will get better, but it may not ever act fully go away. Like you could be 80 and be like, "Am I real?" And I'd be like, "Fuck." That's not the answer I wanted, man. But one thing about my therapist, she don't lie to me. She don't never lie to me. Um, Even if she wants to spare my feelings, she'll never lie to me. So it's like it's very frustrating for me, but it also explains because I never really thought about it as not thinking I was real, but like now that I think about it more, like I do feel like a ghost sometimes. Like I'm just like you can see me. Like I have those moments, like and I had moments even growing up when I would be talking and then people would most of the time like I would get either two reactions from my family. I would either get completely ignored, like I don't exist. And anything I say is just completely ignored or everything I say is under scrutiny and I'm getting a very extreme reaction to the fact that I am even talking in the first place. And I've talked about this in other videos how, there were people in my family who I would start talking about, my day or trying to share something that I did and they would scream at me and tell me to shut up and like, why are you talking? And, you're so annoying. Like they would just do that. So and I was also have moments where I could scream at the top of my lungs and people would act like they did not hear anything, like I wasn't actually there. Um, and I'd be like, wow, I just screamed as loud as I possibly could, and y'all are just going on about your day. And so and then I would have moments as I got older where I would just say whatever, like, what's the point of hiding your words if no one's listening? And then I would say whatever, and then people would hear the wildest piece of what I said, and then they'd all react to that, and I'm just like, I can't win. Um, y'all either paying attention or you're not paying attention, and I don't know what makes you do that or not. But yeah, it causes issues when I am, talking to people because people like there's an identity here, right? Like you guys see that there is an identity here. You guys see that there is a personality from when you interact with me. It's not something that I made up, you know. Hey Sadie, it's not something that I like made up like people who just, fabricate a personality that they think people would like. If I knew how to do that, I'd be way more popular in real life and on YouTube. But it's like there's a person there. I'm working on getting in connection with that person, but there's a person that other people see that other people are able to react to and say, "Oh, you're like me in XYZ," or "I'm like you when I do this." Or "I really like how you're like this." And I just be looking at them like, "Huh?" Like my therapist was telling me, we were talking about like IQ and stuff. My therapist was telling me that I was a highly intelligent person and I was like, Me? And she was like, yes. And I was like, okay, thanks. And it never dawned on me at all. And then I was talking to a friend and she was like, and we were talking about like my academics and like what I've done in school and college and all that stuff. And she was like, she literally said, I had no idea I was talking to a scholar. And I was like, a scholar? Me? You know what I mean? And it's just very weird for me, and people will and like and that's also like a memory thing. Like I don't have really good memory of stuff. So people would be like, "Oh yeah, I remember when you did this thing and it was so kind and nice." And I was like, that sounds like something I would do. And it's not me trying to be rude or make it seem like the other person isn't important. I just literally don't remember things I do because in my mind, I don't exist. So how could I have done anything? In my mind, I wasn't even there. I was watching it on TV or something. Like I was literally watching the scene unfold in front of me. I didn't know that I was involved. Like I didn't know I was an actor on this stage. You guys, like I just perpetually feel like I'm sitting in the audience watching everybody else do, their lives. And so that's like something that I struggle with, that I'm probably always going to struggle with. That's really weird and that makes things like say to you, okay? But yeah, just something that I struggle with. I struggle with image a lot too, and that's also connected to trauma. Like, and it's like that. I say this. There are some times when I look at myself and I don't see myself as a whole. If I do perceive myself in any way, it's like in pieces. So it'll be like eyes, mouth, stomach, chest. You know what I mean? Or body but no head, head but no body, hair but no face. Like I perceive myself in pieces. But when I do perceive myself, sometimes I have like a negative reaction. Sometimes I perceive myself and be like, man, you're big. And it's like a shock for some reason. Like I didn't see myself the day before and look the exact same way. Um, and I like have those moments or I'll be like, huh, that's what your stomach's shaped like. And I'll just have those weird moments. Like I don't see myself every day. But it was just something I want to share that I experienced and that's been coming up a bit more as I've been getting bombarded, been getting assaulted really by my brain with all of these like traumatic images and thoughts and um emotions, like like emotional flashback where you just start feeling things but you don't have any thoughts in your head. Like I will feel stuff and I won't have any thoughts in my head, and that's the most distressing thing for me because I'm such a logical analytical person. And if I could have a moment where I got an emotional flashback and I started like thinking words like you suck, you're a terrible person, like if I could hear those words go through my mind, then I can talk about it with my therapist and we can work on it. But my brain be silent. It be silent and it just be like, here's feelings. And I'm just like, I don't appreciate you just hitting me with emotions. Like, what the fuck am I? Like, I will wake up crying and I'm like, why? What happened? What went wrong? What did I dream of? And my brain would be like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to put the pieces together. I was like, I don't know if you could put the pieces together. I don't think you qualify for this, brain. We can do a lot of things, but I don't think you qualified to piece together all this fucking trauma. The brain keep forgetting that the brain is also traumatized. So there's a limited capacity there. And it's a thing is like holding myself to a standard. I'm gonna have to do more research and talk to more neurodivergent people. But it's like I think the other part of it too, like to wrap all of this up, is that I, for myself, but also other people, am holding myself to a standard of neurotypical behavior, capabilities, life, all of those things. Like everyone around me is holding me to this neurotypical standard, neurotypical black woman standard. So above and beyond all the time, just extra everything. Like, why don't you have 3 master's degrees? Like, there's so much expectation put on neurotypical black women. And I ain't. And my therapist even told me, she was like, it's likely that you had you showed symptoms of being on the spectrum from a very young age, from like what we've been talking about. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because this shit just don't work. The way that life works for a lot of these people, it don't work. And it frustrates me when I have to hear from other people be like, well, me, I just go do this and this. And if I don't want to go with me, then I'm just going to travel here. Like me, I'm trying to travel to places by myself. I'm trying to move my entire life by myself. I'm trying to care for myself and my cats by myself. I'm trying to make the income of basically two people so that I can afford to live properly because I don't got nobody who want to stay with me or move with me or travel with me. I don't have that lifestyle companion and I don't have family to back me up either. So I'm having to do all of this shit that is hard for neurotypical people to do. There's a lot of neurotypical people out there still living with their parents. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff that's so hard for neurotypical people to do, and I'm fucking neurodivergent and severely, severely traumatized. So I'm fucking tired. I'm tired. I'm emotionally worn down. Um, I'm sick of having to save everybody else in work and in personal life because I need help. I need support and I don't have it. And I can't, like, the best I can do to get support is to pay people to support me, which feels bad. But then also it's like, I just got to do it. But now I got to go make more money so I can pay people to support me. Um, and it's like everybody who I know recognizes that I need that support, but it's just nobody's there who wants to give it, you know? Um, so that's just frustrating part, like if this would be a million times, like these next couple weeks would be a million times better if I just had someone other than my cats. They're being really sweet. Except Morticia. Morticia's got a resting bitch face for some reason these past couple days. I don't know what's wrong with her. Um, Morticia, you good? I don't know what's wrong with her. But other than my cats, like, because again, like I've said in other videos, like I have a chronic illnesses, so I have like a lot of physical illnesses that can, at any point in time, just incapacitate me. You know, like can't even make it to the emergency room. Like in the past, if someone was here, they could take me to the emergency room. I can't take myself to the emergency room. Sometimes I don't make it to the phone. And I just got to deal with that. Like like, you know what I mean? Like nobody's going to be here to help me out with that. Like I have stuff that could literally incapacitate me at any moment. Like I have disabilities, physical and mental disabilities and trauma. And I am, the only person taking care of me. I'm the only person taking care of my cats. If I die, my cats just go out on the street. Nobody's going to take care of them. Nobody wants to help with that. You know what I mean? Like it's just like one of those things is like we are communal beings. Humans are communal beings anyway. Like neurotypicals even need support and stuff. A neurotypical cannot be everything all the time. And I'm trying to do that while being neurodivergent. And it's like I don't get to take a break. Like people who are in relationships, who have families and friends, and people who can come and clean their house or bring them food to eat because they can't get out of bed. Like I don't have none of that support. I'm just out here, just doing it. Um, and hopefully by the time this video comes up and I watch it again after I've moved and everything's finally over, well, the hard part is finally over. I still have plenty of other things that I have to do this year. Um, but when the hard part's finally over, hopefully I'll be able to look at this and be like, hey, it was hard, but we did it. And now we know how to do it in the future and stuff like that. Like, I hope that I can look on this video positively when it comes out after the move. But until that point, um, I just gotta go. I just gotta go through it. I'm one of those people. I just have to go through fucking everything all the time. Um, so Sadie, you coming to say hey? Come say hey, Sadie, so I can end the video. Come here. There we go. Come here. There we go. Thank you, Sadie. Mwah. I love you. Thank you for coming and saying that I want you to be in the camera. Thank you for coming by, give me a little hug. So yes. Thank you guys for listening to me talk in this video. I don't even know if I sound coherent, honestly. Like I said, I'm so tired. And I can't even take naps at this point. Like it takes a lot just to go to sleep. So the naps is just not happening. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the support about the hair stuff and the support about the mental health stuff. You guys are really great. What was I saying? Yeah. Drink your water, eat your snacks, take your eat your snaps, eat your snacks, take your naps, take care of yourself because no one can live in a body but you. No one can take care of the body but you. Some of you are lucky and you have people who can take care of your body, which is nice, but that's speaking to myself here. um if you don't take care of yourself, who's going to do it? That's literally how I what I say to myself. Nobody's going to do it for you. So I just have to do it. Love you guys. I will see you next week. If I have time to make a video, I don't even know. I might not. I will announce on Discord if I don't. But oh yeah. Donate on coffee. Join the Discord. You can follow me on Instagram for pictures of gluten-free food and cats and all those nice things. And just, I like interacting with people, interacting with you guys because you're all very, very nice. So it's good to kind of have that little community out there. So I appreciate all the contributions to the community and those of you who be reaching out and be checking on me because I don't have too many people doing that. So if I ever just disappear from YouTube, from social media for a month, you'll know what happened. Anyway, love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you next week, maybe, hopefully. I want to. Bye.